Welcome to our channel space for healing, awareness, and inner peace. Beloved ones, in this world everyone is running to be first. First in business, first in status, first in fame, first in wealth, first in recognition. From childhood we are taught, win, be ahead, defeat others, prove yourself. But have you ever noticed? The more you try to be first, the more restless you become. And Osho says something very shocking. In the spiritual world, the one who is last becomes the first. Today, let us understand this paradox. Osho often laughed at the human mind. He would say, competition is the disease of the ego. Why do you want to be first? Not because you need something, not because you are incomplete, but because you want to prove you are better than someone else. And the moment comparison enters, peace disappears. If your neighbor buys a bigger car, you feel small. If your colleague earns more, you feel insecure. If someone becomes famous, your heart burns. Comparison creates misery. Look at nature. Do you see the rose competing with the lotus? Does the moon compete with the sun? Does the river try to defeat the ocean? No. Each exists in its own beauty. But humanity has become sick with comparison, and this sickness creates restlessness. Osho once shared a story. A king asked a sage, "How can I find peace? I have wealth, power, prestige, yet I am restless." The sage smiled and said, "Drop the desire to be somebody." The king was shocked. "All my life I tried to become somebody." The sage replied, "That is the problem. Become nobody." The moment you become nobody, there is nobody to insult you, nobody to defeat you, nobody to compare. You become like an empty sky, and in emptiness, peace descends. In the world, being last is humiliation. In spirituality, being last is freedom. Part 3. The desire to be first is the ego. Osho says, the desire to be first is the voice of the ego. Ego always wants to stand on top. But notice this, the higher you climb, the more afraid you become of falling. A rich person fears losing. A famous person fears judgment. A powerful person fears enemies. The higher you rise in competition, the greater the anxiety. If you are nobody, who can take anything from you? When you don't want to be first, no one can defeat you, because you are not in the race, and the one who steps out of the race is already victorious. Part 4. The story of the river. Lao Tzu said, "The ocean becomes king of all rivers because it stays lower than them. It does not compete, it stays humble. And because it stays low, all rivers flow into it." Osho explains, the one who stays last, who stays humble, who does not push forward, life flows toward him. If you grab life, it slips away. If you relax, life comes to you. The ocean never runs toward rivers. It simply waits, and everything reaches it. Osho says, the moment you want nothing, you have everything. When you want money, you say, "I am incomplete." When you want fame, you say, "I am not enough." When you want prestige, you say, "I need validation." Desire arises from inner emptiness. But when you feel whole, desire disappears. Now you are relaxed. And in relaxation, life blossoms. You may still succeed, but success is no longer your identity. You are not chasing. You are flowing. Osho once joked, a man worked for 40 years to become rich. Finally, he became a millionaire. Then he told his doctor, "I cannot sleep. I feel anxious. Why? I am afraid I may lose everything." "Then give it to me. You will sleep peacefully." But the message was deep. Possession creates fear. Non-possession creates freedom. The one who wants nothing cannot be threatened. That is peace. Osho says, "The greatest spiritual revolution is accepting your ordinariness." Spirituality is not about becoming special. It is about becoming natural. When you stop trying to shine, a silent light appears. You walk without ambition. You work without greed. You speak without ego. And a deep contentment arises. Jesus said, "The last shall be first." In the material world, first means power. In the spiritual world, first means emptiness. When you are empty, existence fills you. Meditators radiate peace, not because they achieved something, but because they dropped something. They dropped the race. How do we become this last person? Through awareness. Sit silently. Watch your desires. Watch comparison. Do not fight. Just observe. Slowly, desire weakens. One day you wake up free. You no longer want to defeat anyone. You no longer want to prove anything. You are enough. Beloved ones, the world will keep competing, but you can choose differently. Choose peace. Choose simplicity. Choose to be last. When you choose to be last, you relax. When you relax, you meditate. When you meditate, you discover your inner treasure. And even if life gives nothing, you remain content. That is true richness. The one who runs to be first remains restless. The one who stops running arrives. Drop the race. Drop the ego. Drop the desire to win. And suddenly, you are victorious. Not over others, but over yourself. Let these words sink in. The one who stays last becomes first, not in the world, but in the infinite.